Hey guys, so for this video, I'm going to talk about the power of forgiveness. And my realization of the power of forgiveness came from a retreat that I went on last month, and also I've been listening to some meditation classes from the Apple Podcast app made by the Meditation Society of Australia. And the particular class that I was listening to was called letting go of, worries, fears, resentment, hate, all that kind of stuff. And it was a decent amount of people that I needed to forgive, and I kept hate in my heart, and resentment towards them. But one in particular that I'm going to use this video to talk about, just to, give an example for people who may be in similar situations, or people who just may have similar feelings, because even though it may not have been a situation that was all that big of a deal, it really meant a lot to me, and it was a big deal to me. So what happened was is there was this girl that I was with for a couple years, and for a while we thought we connected, and we thought things were okay, but truthfully the relationship wasn't very good. There was a lot of things that we should have talked about a lot more, blah blah blah, and we both just kind of changed. I changed quite a bit, and so around the time of breaking up, there was a lot of yelling, and it really was not nice at all, especially on my part. I was being very mean, and there was also a couple occasions afterwards when I kind of wanted to be friends again, just because it was that type of thing, like where you have somebody in your life for a while, and you just kind of get used to it, and you just kind of feel like they need to be there. And not that she was a terrible person and she shouldn't be in my life, but it was just me kind of resisting change and really just trying to hold on to it. But when I would try to hold on to it, it was still too close to the breakup, and it was a really bad idea, and it just produced more yelling, more fights, and all kind of terrible things. And to this day, I guess I can't really say that we are friends. At least right now, we're not talking at all. We haven't talked um, since we forgave each other and last month, but I'm still happy with it. I don't feel bad that we're not friends or anything like that, because it wasn't about that. It wasn't about getting anything out of it. It wasn't necessarily about becoming friends again, but the whole forgiveness was about me just letting go and me hoping to help her let go. On my part, like I said, there was a lot of yelling and things like that. So I asked her to forgive me for all the things that I did, because because a lot of the time I instigated her, and even though I probably shouldn't have had hate towards her because it was my fault, I did, and it just, it got all jumbled up and all kind of different things, and so I really wanted forgiveness for that, and even if she didn't forgive me, I would have been okay with that, but just to talk to her about it and let it go definitely made a difference. But it was great that she forgave me too. And one of the other things that I would completely recommend that I did is the way that I said I forgave her, and the way that I just kind of let things go at the end of our talk. Um, the way that I said certain things to her, it definitely was, demeaning and not dignifying of a woman and a daughter of God in any way. And so what I made sure I did is at the end of the talk, I said that I would always remember her as a daughter of God, and I would remember her as the person who did nice things for me, because like I said, we just didn't completely connect. It wasn't like I was a terrible person or she was a terrible person. We were just doing terrible things to each other. And so because of what I said and the way I said I would think of her, and that I hope she would find somebody who would truly respect her, and that I hope she was still praying and everything, because I had kind of helped bring her to God. I just kind of, it was a way of reassuring her that she was great, and that it wasn't all her fault that we had broken up, or that she didn't need to worry about this, and that there was no reason why she should have problems in future relationships because of what had happened with us. It was just my way of really making sure I could help her let go, and I could help her feel better about herself if she had, if she still was upset about anything that I had said about her, the things that weren't, dignified and all that. And I could definitely see that it made a difference. So when you do talk to people, when you do forgive people, I definitely recommend saying things like that to them. Let them know that, everything's okay, and, make sure that they don't feel like whatever happened was all their fault, because things are two-way streets. Even if I instigate a woman in a relationship, that still doesn't mean she needs to get mad at me. Yes, it's probably gonna happen, but God still forces us to have, or he's because of giving us free will, he still holds us accountable for personal responsibility, which means no matter what you do to a person, technically you're still supposed to be accountable for your own feelings. And so, potentially she could have still felt bad. She could have hated herself just because of what happened, and because of some of the things I said. She might have thought there was something wrong with her, but I just really helped her let go and make sure that she didn't feel like there was anything wrong with her anymore, and that she would know that I was trying to look at her the way that God looks at her. And that's the goal, is to look at everybody with love and to love them unconditionally and not expect anything back from them. And so that's kind of what I turned it into. And I'm not trying to pat myself on the back, but I want you to know, because I want you to realize that forgiveness can be very powerful. And for you to hear me say that, I am so much happier since I had that experience, and I forgave other people too, and I asked them to forgive me. It's just a big weight that gets lifted off of you. And I didn't even completely realize it was there. I thought I had kind of just let everything go, but the truth is I was pushing it down, and I wasn't really talking to anybody about it for the most part. Some of the situations I did, but others I didn't. And pushing it down and just kind of letting it go without either having a conversation with God about it or having a conversation with another person, really, it isn't ever going to go away unless you do that. And I guess I kind of thought it would, maybe subconsciously thought it would, but the truth is that it doesn't. You actually need to really let it out in the open, and once you do, then you can truly let it go. And so just make sure to pray to God to help you to forgive yourself, to forgive other people, and to do whatever you need to do, so that way you can get all of these things off your heart and you can be much happier. And that way you can give love to other people, because when you have all kind of hate in your heart and you have all kind of resentment, it's really hard to show love to other people because you don't have a lot of love there. All you have is hate. So there's a much better chance that you're going to show hate to other people, and that the devil's really going to catch you and help you show hate to other people. And you don't want to do that. You want to love other people, and you want to bring them to God and everything. So, just really make sure you pray to God about that, and he'll help you so that you can forgive and you can start loving a lot more again. Because with all that stuff on your heart, you're not going to be able to. And trust me, I thought I was. I thought I was loving a lot, but there was definitely a lot of love that wasn't there, and it's much, much better now. There is definitely a serious power in forgiveness. It is one of the great gifts that God has given us. He has given us a lot of mercy.